We will start the regular press conference by Minister Kamikawa. The floor is yours. I have one information. If circumstances permit, I plan to travel to Geneva, Switzerland from December 12th through 14th to attend the second Global Refugee Forum, of which Japan is the co-convener. At the moment, there are more than 100 million refugees and displaced persons across the world. Due to the prolonged conflicts across the world, including the current situation in Israel and Palestine and Russia's aggression against Ukraine, the humanitarian situation continues to exacerbate. By the participation in this forum, I will call for short-term humanitarian aid and, in addition, appeal the need for medium and longer-term approach with a perspective towards the future and emphasize the importance of women, peace, and security, so-called WPS concept for the resolution of refugees and displaced persons, and call for the reinforcement of the unity and cooperation of the international community to improve the humanitarian situation. That is all.
If you have any questions, please raise your hand. When you're designated, please approach to the nearest microphone. State your name and affiliation. Kyoto, Katsurada-san, please. This is Katsurada of Kyoto. Well, in regard to the Global Refugee Forum, I'd like to talk about a question. The RSD ratio is very low in Japan, and there are some criticisms against this. And what are the roles that Japan should play in the refugee policies? In regard to this particular issue, the Minister of Justice, in accordance with the Global Convention on Refugees, we believe that Japan is adhering to the rules and the international laws to designate the refugees. And from the humanitarian point of view, those who truly need to be protected for sure, we have introduced the subsidiary protection system by the revision of the immigration law the other day. In addition to the refugee designation, we are also promoting the receipt of the refugees through the third country resettlement since FY 2010, in addition to the refugee recognition. And we are one of the co-hosts of our RSG, and therefore co-convener, and therefore we'd like to proceed with the all possible solutions of world refugee and displaced people, including those accepting to Japan.
NHK, Igarashi-san, NHK. Igarashi, NHK. This is about the Japan-ROK relationship. Regarding the former comfort woman, recently the High Court in ROK handed down a ruling calling for the compensation by the government of Japan, and the deadline is the 8th. Will you appeal, and what is the impact onto the Japan-ROK relation if the ruling is finalized? First of all, regarding the lawsuit raised by former comfort woman against the government of Japan, the question was whether the government of Japan will appeal. The position of Japan is, in light of sovereign immunity under the international law, government of Japan does not accept Japan being subject to ROK jurisdiction, and therefore the government of Japan does not intend to appeal. What might be the impact onto the Japan-ROK relationship if the ruling is finalized? As has been mentioned traditionally, Japan and ROK are important neighbors that must cooperate in order to deal with various challenges of the global community. In view of the increasingly harsh strategic environment, including the repeated launch of ballistic missiles by North Korea and other, together with Japan, US, and the Japan-US ROK, the bilateral relationship has never been important as before. Under this backdrop, under the leadership of Japan ROK leaders, we have proactively advanced the bilateral relationship, and we intend to continue to work together on various aspects. At the same time, with regard to the concerns lying between ROK and Japan, we will control in an appropriate manner. And naturally, of course, we will continue close communication with the counterpart regarding the recent ruling. It is a clear violation in view of international law and the bilateral relationship. It is deeply regrettable and it is totally unacceptable. On various occasions, including the recent Japan ROK Foreign Ministers meeting, we have already offered our position to ROK. We will continue to request that appropriate measures be taken by ROK. Next question, Yomiuri Shimbun, Uemura-san.
Yomiuri Kamira. In regard to this information, I'd like to ask a question. FOMA as well as the U.S. State Department has agreed to take countermeasures against disinformation by the foreign actors. And what is your recognition about the disinformation from foreign countries to Japan, and what is the cooperation that you'd like to pursue? Now, understand that what is our awareness in regard to the threats of the disinformation by foreign actor against Japan. Well, disinformation, including fake information by foreign actors, intend to distribute information hindering the democratic processes or international cooperation. And at the occasion of the Foreign Ministers' Conference of G7 this year, as well as Hiroshima Summit, we have agreed on the concern against the disinformation, and we agreed on the recognition that we must address this issue with the sense of crisis. And we will continue to cooperate with the like-minded country and international organizations, regional organizations, and try to take effective measures against disinformation by foreign actors. The second part of your question was regarding the cooperation with the United States in regard to disinformation by foreign actors. Detection, analysis, and countermeasures are the stages of disinformation by the foreign actors, and all-out enhancement of the capability at each stage is required based upon the memorandum of cooperation which we signed with the United States on 6th of December. We will share the analysis and information each other, and we'd like to enhance our capabilities going forward.
Pan Orient News, Mr. Azahari.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. My question is about Palestinian-occupied territories. Does Japan officially consider Hamas as a terrorist organization, although it won a democratic election in Gaza when it started ruling the stripe? And why? What's behind your decision? Thank you.
Regarding terrorism, there is no established international definition about terrorism, but generally speaking, it is considered an organization that they will engage in killing and harming people for the purpose of giving fear and terror to the community in order to demand countries to accept their specific positions. The position of the government of Japan is we sometimes do use the terminology of terror in the general sense. With regard to the recent attacks by Hamas and others, it is targeting many civilians and indiscriminate, brutal killing or kidnapping, and therefore Japan unequivocally condemns this as terrorist attacks. On top of that, as of September 30, 2003, under the Cabinet Agreement, we have placed Hamas under the measures to freeze the asset to cover terrorists. According to the Cabinet understanding as of October 31st of this year, we have added 9 individuals and 1 company related to Hamas, subject to asset freeze that covers terrorist organizations.
Next question, Mainichi Shimbun, Murao-san, please. Murao of Mainichi Shimbun. Now, I'd like to ask about the party tickets. Well, at the Parliament, there are a series of questions to the member of government. But once again, Her Excellency Minister, the selling the party tickets over the allocation and receiving some excess money from the unit section of the LDP. Have you had that practice in the past? Well, I would rather not to answer to your question in the capacity of the individual politician in this capacity. Merrill-san, continuing with the follow-up question.
A follow-up question at the Upper House Committee on Foreign Affairs yesterday with regard to your response as the Member of Parliament. You said you will respond on other occasion. When and on what occasion, please? About the question how I shall respond as an individual Member of Parliament, I will think about it further. I am still thinking.
Merrill-san, please. Related note, just one last question. Now, the Chief Cabinet Secretary is subject to a big scandal, as it reported by the media, and it seems that it could be a great risk to the administration itself. Being a member of the Kishida administration, what is your position? Now, because this is a press conference, we will not answer to such questions, being the capacity of the government, and I would rather not to make any comments at this moment.
Further questions? End of the press conference. Thank you.